is working here. Let me check here on here. Let's see. There we go. All right, we are live. I'm just going to take about the first. Turn the first 25.5 minutes off. I didn't know that it was recording already. I wasn't really doing anything. Okay. I don't want that. Alrighty, it is Monday, November 16th. It is first day of one of our last full trading weeks in a while. Let me close this out. Okay. Throw this right here. Good. Okay, so we're set up here. I was trying to figure out a couple more things here. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have a surprise opening to the upside for SPY. I really wasn't expecting too much of an uptick like that. Close that out. Okay. So yeah, SPY is gonna open a good $3 up, which is pretty good. Although we did have some points where it was even higher. Here, 360, 367. This spike is kind of similar to what we saw here when we went to 366 off of the Pfizer news, but we did not get as big of a spike here on this one. I think it's because we've kind of heard this before. Like this article says here, where is it? Is it this one right here? Deja vu. It's literally what it is. Over the weekend, a vaccine stock comes out with positive news, but at the end of the day, it's still not going to be here for a couple of months. So that's why you saw this sell-off. That's why I think we might see more of a sell-off. If you look here, we've got crossing MACD lines here on the 1 hour. Might be time to short this guy. But we'll see how this new candle that is going to open to the upside, what that's going to do for us there. Let me get my stream pulled up on my phone to make sure it's still working. Okay. I'm just going to set that right there. So last week we closed out some of our Disney trades. Kohl's I never got into, but I would have liked to. I just didn't see the perfect setup that I wanted. They did confirm over this, which might have been a good entry point at about 23.80, but I had actually finished the stream and was not trading here anymore. So I did not actually see it. I could have maybe triggered a buy or something, but I was happy with my profits for the week and I didn't want to risk it on holding some shares. Well, it's not that risky. I just didn't want to, I wanted to walk away with what I had. They did tick up here over the weekend though with the vaccine news. They shot up all the way up to 20. They shot up over 26 there once, and we had a low of 22.8 here on Friday. See if we scroll back, if we can see if they were any lower at any other times below. Yeah, down here we had 22.20. So that was our bottom, and then we've almost recovered to that high level. So you better be watching this high. The thing about it, I don't know if it'll make it to this high. And if it does, I don't know if it'll stay there very long because Kohl's is going up and down solely off of this vaccine stuff. So you had here This was last Friday. They were at 22, and they shot up to 27 over the course of a couple of days. By the next open, they were up here. So, and that was just off the Pfizer vaccine. Now we had our big sell-off, and then started to trend back up, and then we get this Moderna stuff. So I don't know if we'll break above that level, and if we will, I will be looking for a downtrend to ensue. So you might want to be careful and get out of that when you can. This over here. So here's SPY on the 1 hour chart. This MACD showing crossing lines way above the 0 line. And then we have a high RSI as well. This is off of the news though. So the question is, are we going to see, we need to look at it at an even bigger time frame. We're done with Cisco. We closed out our Cisco earnings last week. How does the 1 day look for SPY? That's the one that I want to, this is the 1 hour, 1 day. 1 day, so while we did get another white candle here on the MACD, we are nearing what could be another line cross. So I'm going to be looking for that line cross by the end of the week here, and then we could be starting a larger downtrend. And if that happens, I may look into a couple of debit spreads with puts, but we'll have to wait and see. What I've really liked from SPY is that ever since this big correction here, whenever we've dropped under this 9-period SMA on the 1 day chart, it's held pretty strongly. We haven't seen very many candles where it kind of doesn't know which way it's going to go around here. We had a couple up here, but this was a super clean run, always stayed above. As soon as it broke down under this, it was super clean here. This was almost a straight 90-degree angle here on each side of this breakout to the upside. And now we're up here, the highest above this SMA we've been in a while. And that was with the election here. So watching closely for what could be a level down at maybe 350. It could be up to 352 or 353 by the time we actually get there. But I think we are nearing the top of our range. So I might look into assembling some call spreads here up at the 380 level, maybe higher. Because while they haven't reached 370 before, I still want to go out far enough where I'm going to have a pretty low delta on the trade. Keep yawning. I need to stop yawning. The delta will basically decide how many dollars my option spread would move by for every $1 move in SPY. So if the delta on one was 0.1, so 0.10 is basically a tenth, that means if SPY went up $1, the option would go up by $10 instead of a full 100, which is because it's out of the money. So if I offset that with one that has a 9 delta, then really every time it goes up $1, I'm losing $1, but that's with a lot less money than $361. That's with 100. So even when these spreads are played super passively, you can make money on SPY more than 3 times as fast. Let's get Robinhood here. Okay. Last week I got a so I'm kind of trading on 2 little accounts here, and then I have one big long-term account where I just also have SPY condors, so hopefully those all open okay. And then I'm also holding 1 share of Netflix on there, because I've been watching Netflix go up and down between the same channel. I can bring that up here. I think we're done with Cole's NFLX. Come on. There we go. So here's Netflix. As you can see, the MACD's going up and down pretty crazy here on the 5 minutes. So you zoom out to maybe the 1 hour. We've had this This area here, we've been stuck between the 525 and the 460 level. But if you zoom out even further, you can see that we've been just over the long term going up and down between the 575 and that 460, 465 level that we tested early last week. So I'm just holding one share to see if they want to go back up to the 570 range. That would be a pretty good profit. DPZ, PZA looking lower as lockdown winners in dining slip. Well, Domino's did a lot of deliveries and stuff. I thought they might be a good buy. Elon Musk might have COVID. That was a while ago. So we'll see if we'll trade any directional spreads here on SPY today, because I really love seeing these MACD lines get ready to cross. We did have the one time here where it was starting to close. If you just look at the difference between the two lines, as it was getting closer. But we are getting to a point where they're nearing our all-time. They're going to be opening higher than what this all-time high was here. So I think once we get a breakdown, it's going to be a pretty big one. So we'll see. Okay, I'm going to run real quick and fill up some water bottles so I can actually have some water while I'm streaming, because I forgot to get that before I started. So I will be right back in just a minute here. Okay, I am back. This chair is so loud. It's comfortable. It makes a lot of noise when I'm trying to move it to where I want it. Looking at my second mini here. I mean, really, I have nothing to do right now but look for a couple of larger big name stocks that could be good directional credit spreads as well. Maybe Apple. We could look at Apple, because I know Apple's kind of not trending as high as the market as they kind of been stagnating as the market's been rising. So that could mean one of two things. That means when the market goes down, Apple could fall harder, or when the market goes down, Apple might actually catch back up to SPY and just stay stagnant. I don't know if you would do which one. So I don't know. We'll see. I still haven't been trading long enough to see what normally happens, though. Perhaps we can look at Facebook. They've been trading in the same channel as well. Let's just say 280 and 271, 272. They kind of been staying in this level, so that could be something where you buy an iron butterfly, and any big move in either direction could make you a lot of money because of an increase in implied volatility. Biden, today's news, second vaccine, further reason to feel hopeful. What was true in the first vaccine remains true with the second. We're still months away. Until then, Americans need to continue to practice social distancing and mask wearing. Yeah, what the market isn't really pricing in right now is that we're still seeing uh, rising cases right now. And with the rise of cases, we're seeing people buy in more. It's almost as if people are like, oh, last time there was a rise in cases, it sold off, so we're not going to do that again, because then we'll lose money. I've just been trading spreads, so really my profit doesn't matter which way the market goes because I'll adjust my strategy accordingly to make that same percentage. So, SPY, I'm very interested to see which direction they want to go on open. If you followed the MACD, it's going to be crossing up here unless we turn down right now. We might open down, might open higher. I don't know. We're pretty high, so we could see a sell off. Not sure. Let's throw this up here. Okay. So Facebook could be a good butterfly play, or something where you try to long or short on a breakout of this channel here that they kind of been within. Okay. I'm very interested to see which way we want to go here on open. I'm really just waiting for open. I just want to see it. We could look at a 1-day low RSI scanner here. Beyond is still down there. So beyond has still not found a bottom. There'll be a good bounce back play soon. HBI looks like they kind of sold off to earnings at about the same time Beyond did. They're working their way back up, but those MACD lines are still pretty far apart. I'd be waiting for those to get closer together. And then Ping, I'm not exactly sure what Ping is. It looks like they were also trending down, kind of like Beyond, but they did not have any kind of type of rebound here at all. They've just been trending down, 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 down. Look at how many gray candles we've seen in a row. That's, I think, 7 right there. 8 if you count this one. But that was after earnings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Beyond, I'm really interested to see when Beyond wants to put in a bottom here. Because Beyond isn't necessarily a quarantine stock. While they did go up when all the other quarantine stocks did, they're going up because they're just a new thing and people are realizing, oh, this is pretty cool. It's not like if people shut down more people are going to go buy Beyond Whoppers. That's here to stay. I mean, you just got to hope that people are going to prefer those types of things over the normal burger. And I really don't know how many people there are that would prefer that. So I'm just watching the stock's movement, the analytics. If we see a MACD line cross here on the 1 day, I might swing some shares because they are a very volatile stock. And while they are volatile, which can make things riskier, they've had a history of showing very clean reversals here, like this line cross here. Look at how we confirmed underneath the 9-period SMA. We did go back up to 186, but then it was just a straight clean downtrend. Same here, kept finding support. There's probably a few instances back here. I mean, here's a MACD line cross right there. Whenever Beyond does a MACD line cross, they do a really good job of just swinging back and forth. Here's the MACD line cross up here. This one was kind of messy, but this one, if you crossed here, this would be a good short down through possibly this resistance level. No, actually, they found that as support. So, but we are very high now. We found a clean turn down, so I'm watching for what could be another clean turn up if we drop far enough down. So Beyond could be a good long-term, maybe short-term swing if we were to wait for the MACD lines to cross there on the 1 day chart. Any stocks looking to cross above the 180 MA here? EQX, KAOOY. It's a very odd looking stock. RMG. That was some spike there. So here's something with this one. Well, that's kind of like a weird anomaly thing there. It looks like we had this hype up and now we're kind of trending back down. Are we going to hold an open above this 180 moving average here? It's not that much of an upside, but I mean, it's got a big upside. I mean, it's gone up to here before. But for right now, I'm assuming this is a sell-off that came after some news here. If I synced this to screen 1. Oh, it's an IPO for electric vehicles. Okay. I get it. I'm just not going to touch that then. This guy, lots of volume. It looks like it wants to open where? Holy cow. It doubled over the weekend. Wow. That's something where I don't see that super often. That's after a negative $1.12 earnings. Let me see here. I'm going to do that. So I'm considering going and getting a job to work in the afternoons after I'm done trading to get to 25K a bit faster here. And I think that'll be a good investment on my time if I went and worked somewhere for maybe 3-6 months. I don't know how much it would be. But if you're making 1% a day on stuff like that, you're making a lot. With if you're say depositing a couple hundred a week, but then also growing it at 1% a day, it can more than triple over the course of a year. Like I was doing some math, and I think if you did 2% a day on $500 a week, and you made 2% a day, so 10% a week. At the end of 50 weeks, which is about if you exclude holidays, about how much you would make, you're looking at about $500,000 from what would have been a 25,000 a year job. And that is before taxes, but still, $500,000. So the math kind of sounds impossible, but mathematically it is feasible. That's if you're growing 2% every day. If I get over 25, though, I think my rate of growth will be a little bit different because with day trading, I might be able to make money a bit faster while it will be more volatile. I still want to have a lot of directional credit spreads because I really do like trading those. It's actually kind of my long term right now because instead of having uh, stocks in my long term, I have Iron Condors and stuff where I've farmed a lot of premium now, and it's just slowly gonna start adding up in my account when you see these stocks not reach either $20 above all-time highs or $10 below year lows. Well, that stuff might happen. Um, it's very low odds. It's kind of almost as low of odds as a stock going bankrupt, but probably it's more common that your condor loses. But if you're actively managing the portfolio like I am, you can get out if you see something you don't like. So it's like buying Apple, but it's not buy and hold for 30 years. It's buy it, hold it for a few weeks, go back and look at it, see if you're better switching it over to a different stock or something like that. We are about 5 minutes away from open here. Just waiting for the open. I really want to see the open now. SRAX up 26% pre-market after EPS. I never liked the idea of stocks coming out with their earnings on either Monday mornings or Friday nights because how are you supposed to play options on them? You can't just do that. It's a lot more difficult. So close this out. So if we get a hold underneath the 9 period SMA, maybe if we dip down to 360 and hold there for an hour or so, could be a good time to put in a directional short on a credit spread. And short just means that I think the stock is either going to go down or stay the same. Well, that's what the spread would do, but it would make more money if it went down. Okay. Alrighty, we are 2 minutes away from open. I can't wait. Let's just get this show on the road. Let's get my watch here, because my watch has the exact number of seconds to open. Alrighty, about 50 seconds. And doing a couple more things here. About 15 seconds. Three, two, one, and we are open. So we're going to see a lot of volume here right on open, 400,000 shares right off the bat. A lot of buy on open orders. As you always see a lot of these sell a few, see large amounts of certain equities, and that's just because a lot of people have perhaps a lot of transactions queued up for something there. Let's see here what this account's doing. So I have a couple of minis here. They're all just really passive condors, so they're all probably doing fine. Might be down a bit here to open. Yeah, this one's down $2. You're going to see the implied volatility of some of these options go up a bit here, as it did shoot up a lot here just to open. It was at 17, now it's up to 19. So, but the options are far out enough where, yeah, you're going to see it's going to help the options if we start going to the downside like we are here on open. Let's zoom in here. There we go. I'm going to keep the 1 hour there. UROV we don't need to look at. I think we can just go back to our long-term portfolio list here that I really like to look at, and then maybe SPY here. Why did it not let me SPY? Actually, you know what? No, yeah, let's do SPY. And just look at them on the 1 day perhaps, and then here we can do NFLX. Yes, look at this implied volatility go up here when we have this drop immediately down to 360.50. The first candle I see to open below this 9-period SMA may be a directional spread short. So if we stay a full candle underneath the 9 SMA here, you could short it for a couple of days with the Wednesday options, just to gain a little bit extra premium here on a swing. But this is almost a full dollar we've seen down since the opening bell. Actually, the opening bell is more like here, so maybe about 50 cents. Might get our first white candle here, or I don't know. We'll see. So Netflix, let's zoom in on them and see what they're doing. Let's do 5 minutes. Now it's 1 minute. A big dip here. This was I'm guessing SPY. When SPY goes down, it's not a direct inverse. What is Virgin Galactic? I still have this notification on from Webull. It's giving me Virgin Galactic notifications. So I'm going to wait for about half an hour to an hour of market open before I place any trades. I just really wanted to see where my portfolios are going to open at. And it looks like they're at about break even. My bigger one's up $1, my smaller one's at break even now. So just about the same. And that's kind of what you get from condors like this. A huge move over the weekend doesn't result in that big of a portfolio amount change. So while it's not green, while it's not big green, it's not like super volatile, potentially losing money over the weekend. It kind of eases the stress of holding a ton of options like that over the weekend, which I don't like to do. I really like this MACD line cross though. So we'll see if this is just a lot of profit taking, if we'll head down. But perhaps in about 25 minutes, I'll look into a directional credit spread if we get our next one to open below this 9 SMA. We can look real quick and see about what we could get if we went to SPY, option chain. These are for today, the 16th. I'm not going to do those. I could do the Wednesday ones. And if I did Wednesday, for the call side, we could go out to about the 364, 365. 365 would get you about 20%. But if you wanted about 10 delta, you're looking at about right here at the 368s. 10 delta is going to get you about $8 credit. And that's an $8 you're making off 100, so about 8% over the course of 2 days, if that were to go through. But we're going to wait, see. This is every reaction in the market is an overreaction, so we could see something like that. This Iron Condor for this one really passive one is showing that it's down $1, $3, but it's a 320, 377 Iron Condor that expires in 3 weeks. So it's going to make about 1% a day if it expired worthless. So we either have to not go up $17 or not go down $40. That's after looking at a lot of the Greeks, a lot of the stock movement as of late. So we will see. Definitely a lot of volatility. Sorry about that. Okay. 1 minute, we are looking to cross above the 9 SMA. A lot of people don't take this as a buy signal unless the next candle opens, but you might see it actually move up a bit here just on that. See if this is just the end of the profit taking or if this is just a small reaction to what could be going down here in a minute. So fortunately, this will only be affecting the account by a couple of dollars, and when I'm down, I might be able to enter some more going different directions to not lock in profits, but basically ensure that when we're turning around, we might see more profit than we had originally. Here's Netflix, down 0.34%. But since open, a lot less volatile than SPY here. SPY here's looking to go back up 361.17 now. And this is why I don't like to trade here in the first half hour, because you could have shorted something down here and then immediately have it shoot up like this. You look again, those options, I think the 368 is where I said we could get a delta of 10. Now it's 12. Closer to 10 is here. You're getting that 7 to 8 credit almost $1 further out. And $1 move, while it is kind of becoming slowly less for SPY, that's a huge advantage if you're just saying, oh, you wait a couple minutes longer, you can move your option leg up another entire dollar. Someone just sold 3,000 Las Vegas Sands calls, 50 calls at 1050, 230,000 deltas. See, when I see a lot of big movements like that, I assume that either that could be some huge big name option trader, oh man, trading weeklies all the time, that's so cool, or that is just somebody that is that owns a very, very large amount of these certain stocks. So 3,000. What if somebody owns 300,000 shares of Las Vegas Sands? They can just sell all those covered calls, and they're making a lot of extra money. That's one thing I'd like to do in a long-term portfolio: sell covered calls on dividend stocks and covered calls on normal stocks. See someone right there, 2,817 Boeing calls, 200 calls. There's GE with some calls there. Those are November 20th, so that those are weeklies. But that's a buy. Interesting. There's new highs for Netflix. Big move up. We'll see if they start to swing around. I'm down a few dollars on that trade. I'm only holding one share. I think I'm down $7 on it. That's not right. My average purchase price was $4.85, and we're at $4.83. So really, I'm down $2 on it. It just hasn't refreshed here for me. Let me try refreshing it now and see if it changes. Yeah, it's still saying I'm down by that amount, but that's not right, because if I got in at 485 and it's at 483, I'm really only down $2, so it must just be delayed a bit right now. That's why I want to move this to Thinkorswim, but I haven't gotten any word back from them yet. Very interesting candle here on Netflix. Let's zoom in a bit on that. When you see these opens up where, like, at the exact right moment it legs from here up to there, you see a gap between the candles. It's kind of funny. Persistent or lucky. Bloomberg takes a closer look at Robinhood traders. I'll tell you right now, it's lucky. They're also allowed to make mistakes, amateurish ones included, that professionals will never be able to for reasons of reputation as well as performance. Nevertheless, spotting a favorable trend and sticking to it in a chaotic... Oops. This magic mouse. In a chaotic environment deserves some credit. Banking one off the new folks. Meanwhile, there are those who've already found a way to exploit the exuberance of Robinhooders, as the second Bloomberg piece this week reports. Academics study the phenomenon of herding on Robinhood, which investors pile into the same stock. In a paper, the researchers describe a strategy that delivers a 3.5% return Where is it? Crap. 5% return for selling after hurting over a stock occurs and then buying it 5 days later. Reality may not come crashing down for newbie stock jocks. Been an easy market to think that you're a genius in, says a professional quoted in the first Bloomberg piece. Either way, the new awards aren't going anywhere. Among many other things, 2020 will go down as a watershed year when a new league of traders join the investing world. I will be honest. At one point, I was one of these people, but I decided that I am going to be serious about this, and I'm not just going to go look at the top movers on Robinhood and buy it. That's what they're saying about the herding. I think a lot of people, they're just tapping the magnifying glass on Robinhood, scrolling down to today's top movers. Like right now, it's CBAK Energy Technology, even though the ticker is CBAT, and they just buy it. People are just going to buy these stocks. Laird Superfood. Party Cities at 5%. So you're gonna see these. That's where the herding's coming from. It's coming from people that all see the top movers list, and that's how I made my first trade. What I did was I went there, and it was some little New York real estate company that was down 20% on the day. So I went and bought it, and the next week I was up, I think 12% on the investment because they made a little rebound. I think I might have pinned the bottom on accident because I was never really red on that trade, which I thought was, I'm like, oh, the trading the market must be easy. I thought I was so smart for finding this Brazil bull ETF that was worth $80 before the crash, and now it's worth $3. I'm like, hey guys, look, this thing could be worth 80 again in a few months. Yeah, that's not how it works. Those ETFs, they have expense managing fees, so they're slowly decaying. That yellow line for Netflix is my average purchase price. It looks like they're wanting to go through it. We'll see. Gold bounce off early fade on vaccine headlines. CVX trades above 200-day MA, 85.31. See if Netflix sees my one share that I bought will be listed as the resistance. How does my one share act as the resistance? So if you enter a $15 credit Iron Condor that expires in 3 weeks with a $100 spread, that thing is going to decay about $1 a day if you go by just trading days. And that's going to be really good for that could be really good for consistent income. Saying it works every time, you're still having to go out a good amount. But like I showed earlier, I want to see another open below that line. Then I'll probably get in on a short on SPY. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. We're getting close. You need all the indicators to line up at the same time. Had a strong uptrend the past couple of days, so we'll see. 1 month of stability in a refrigerator. What does that allow? Warp speed official. 1 month of stability refrigerator allows more distribution, including in very rural areas. Oh, okay. U.S. expects to have 40 COVID-19 vaccine this year. Enough for 20 million people. What? Is it 2 doses per person? Huh. Well, that's for 20 million people. The problem is, after that, you would still have over 300 million Americans that wouldn't have that yet. And while this is a time for optimism, I understand that it's that the end is in sight now that we're making these vaccines and they're trying to get the warp speed stuff to work. But you have to look at the bigger picture. How long is it going to take for this to happen? Yes, they're going to have enough for 20 million people, but what about the other 310 million people? There's still going to be a lot of people that need it. There's going to be a select few also that may not even want it, and that could make things difficult for some situations. We'll see. Okay, if our options have refreshed, we can see that now my SPY Iron Condor here. I have one on my long term that's very big. I'm up $5 on that one. Oh, but you know what? That's not factoring the reversal, because this is a 15-minute delay, so this is 4 minutes into open, so it's telling me what the price of the Condor was right there. So at the best point. Oh well. So it'll probably reverse and go back to break even. But that's okay. I'm down to holding it until I realize about 80% of the profit. Netflix might be a short now. On the 1 minute at least. I don't know, should I just sell my Netflix share? Buy it back later? I'm still in it for the long haul, but is it better worth my money? I mean, look here, we could see this. The MACD's been looking really weird, but we could see a turnaround there. Man, I was down here trading Netflix at this low. I just, I screwed up and I stopped myself out just a tiny bit too early. I could have made a couple extra $100 on that trade itself. I must have gotten a bad fill on this Condor. What are these options worth? The interesting thing about this one Condor I have on SPY on this account is that the put side is only worth 4. I wonder if with this turnaround I should just close out of the put side. The 320 put and the 319 put for the December 11th expiration. We could look into doing that on some of the accounts and see if they come out ahead of the other ones or what. December 11th. Sell the 320 because we're gonna sell that one and buy this one. If I can buy that back for the $4 spread that it's showing here, the bid's 2 and the ask is 6. So if I get filled at 4, that would be amazing. We do get filled at 4. So now it is showing that I'm down more on what the initial thing is now. The call side is up to 14. So it moved $4. If that thing goes down to 4, if we start to see a drop now, I'm going to mark out the day low. It's kind of what I'm looking for here with on really big movements on news like this. You have a bit of time to digest, and then you have the profit taking the sell-off, and a lot of people might confuse it for just a big downward trend. But that's going to put us, so we made 4 on that side, but we lost 6. We're down 6 on the other side. We did not lose it because we haven't exited the position. But now that's saying that if we got to break even on this 377, 378 call spread, which is way up here, but for December 11th, so probably way out here, then we would actually be up $4 if we exited that at break even. That's not counting commissions, but on Robinhood there really aren't commissions. There's another big move down. But yeah, if we look at these, you can see that see, where's the put side? Put side on this Condor is only 2 cents. That's only something that I would close if I had a intermediate to strong belief that the stock was about to start trending in that direction and just take my profits now. Because we have what could be another low open here. Yep, there's your low candle open sell off. We could look at a directional credit spread now. I think I'm going to look at that now. Let's see here at... Wait, sorry, this is a... Is that another candle? I can't even tell. Sorry, that's not another candle yet. We had to wait in about 7 minutes. But now if we go to trade that directional credit spread, where are we going to go? Where we want to sell it for a 10 delta, we could do a 9 here. We're getting about $6 profit. We could get about 11 here. And this is for Wednesday. We could do about $10 profit here for $2 away. Just swinging a reversal, and then if the stock went down a few dollars, we could close it out for 4 or 5. So that's about 5% gain on that little $100 collateral there put up. So there's your big breakdown on the 1 minute. So you're going to see the implied volatility get sucked out of those calls right now, especially on this big panic move. So now first mini's up $3. Second mini it's at break even. But it was down $3. So did close out the put side on that one. So the calls are really, really far out on that one, so we aren't going to see them react as much. But it is going to make us some money because we were down to $4 on that other side. And we're now back under that 360 level. Now, I think this is all we need to confirm a downside move here. I did want to wait 5 more minutes to see this 1 hour candle kind of show us that it was going to be trending down. I wanted a confirmation candle. So what we can do is we can wait 5 minutes, see this open down, and then we can wait to see a reversal here on the MACD. If we can get a trend back up into some white bars, get a line cross, get up into the white bars, and then on our next cross on the 1 minute is when we could sell that spread. And that would just be a credit spread for Wednesday calls up at the 66, 67 level. I don't know if I would hold that to expiration, but it is a good it's a good chunk of change you can make now if this is our reversal that we might be seeing here just for a couple of days. $359.60 might be breaking a new low here. Move this. Well, that's going to be a potential resistance on the way back up if they do head back up that way. Let's just graph out the bottom here, which is about, well, it did poke under 60, but let's just put 60. I think 60 is a level a lot more people are probably going to be putting in. So let's see if that's our support for now. We could come up here, test this, and then have a sell-off down. We do have about 4 minutes. 3 minutes now till the top of the hour. It will be, what, 10 Eastern? Yeah. And we'll look at a directional spread there. Put spread. Call spread, sorry. Shorting the call spread. Iota has become a Category 5 hurricane. Torrential rainfall, Central America. Oh, is that down in the Mexico area? I'm assuming it's something coming from the Gulf. Let me see. Iota? I've heard Iona, but not Iota. Yes, it does look like something that's heading for See, is this Brazil? No. This is Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Looks like it's going to hit Honduras pretty hard. And Nicaragua right there. But yeah, that's just north of South America in the Gulf of Mexico area. That's going to be a little bit south of Mexico. And I always wonder what it would be like to live in a place that gets hurricanes like that, because I really don't like tornadoes here where I'm at. I'm in Tornado Alley. I haven't had any bad experiences with tornadoes per se. It's just something that kind of makes me uncomfortable, but I mean, like, the odds are very low. If you go by probabilities, then yeah, you're probably going to be fine. So here is another MACD line cross underneath the 1 minute. I'm not saying I'm bullish on it. I'm saying we could see a bit of a movement up to neutral here, and that's when I would enter a bearish credit spread here. We have about a minute left till about 9. We can look at what our option chain is showing. Where's the delta going to be? 10. Here at the 368 level, that's going to be a $7 credit. We could go down to the 367s with a $12 delta, and we could get potentially about a $10 credit here. I think I'll look at that, the 367s, 367, 368. Let's get an order ready on here and see what the bid and ask is on it for November 20th. Sell some calls. 368, 369. The bid ask on the 368 call for then looks kind of odd here. What's going on? Did it just change? This is for November 18th. I'm looking at November 20th. Sorry. November 18th. Here we go. Okay, 368 call. I'm actually buying one of those right now, so I'd basically be moving, kind of widening a condor on that side. So I could sell this call, buy that call, and it looks like you get about a $7 credit right now. So you say long call? No. I'm buying that one. Okay, it's just saying that because I'm kind of just adjusting the leg of that spread. Okay, so it'll be like that. The bid ask it's saying is 7. Is that right? 368, 369. I was looking at the 367, 368. I actually already own one of those. Very interesting. Maybe I will just get another one. Because while I already do have one, I kind of want to average into that price move in that direction. There's our open below, and then MACD. I'll wait a couple more minutes, see if we get a breakdown below this level, I'll enter the spread. I don't need the perfect entry on the 1 minute. I've gotten the signs I've wanted on the 1 hour, and I just want to wait and see when we're going to see a potential reversal down now on the 1 minute to get the best price possible. If I put the credit in, the ask is 12 right now, so it's moved up. So that means I'll probably be able to get filled at 10. I'll probably try to get it filled at 11. Let's just put it at 11. If I get filled at 11, I'll take it. But if not, we will just fill it for whatever price we'll get filled at when we fail below this level here. Not filled yet, not filled yet, not filled yet. I always like the larger see, we're not getting filled at 11. Let's try 10. I'll take 10. All right. We're in at $10 here on this. This is the highest MACD bar we've seen here on open today, so that's about high enough and open for me. We will see when we want to get a reversal here. Well, we have gotten the line crosses a couple times. Our 1 hour here, 9 period simple moving average. We had a candle close open below it. It hasn't yet closed below it, but we have the MACD here and the higher RSI. So that is all I needed to see on the long term there. If they run up to 361 here in the short term, that's fine. I'm just going to make a bit more money here on the way down. So I'm down $1.02 on the smaller mini that's only got like $100 in it, because the one spread in there, the call side is still down 377, 378, and that call side is going to move really, really slowly because it's actually for the December 11th expiration. While it is $17 away, the current value of the spread is $14, and that is for a spread that is almost a month away. So you're going to see a very slow movement for that. It's basically, it's going to go from 14 to 0, and it's going to take 30 days to do it. You're probably only going to see a 50-cent move per day if it remains stagnant. So we might not see any green on that one today. With those types of stocks, with those types of options, you'll see a lot of those price changes happen after hours. If you enter a certain option, they can lose a large amount of that implied volatility just between market close of the last day in the open here. So these movements here, they kind of get priced in a little bit, where people are like, yeah, I know it's probably not going to open at the exact same price the next day. So they price in some volatility. That's why some of my Iron Condors only went down by $1 or $2 when we had this huge move from 357, 358 about to open at about 361. So a $3 move was priced in on my options. And it was one of the bigger moves we've seen over a weekend. The biggest one we saw was right here, exactly 1 week ago, where instead of Moderna releasing the vaccine news, it was Pfizer. So we kind of got a smaller reaction to the same thing, just more positive vaccine news. But at the end of the day, they're saying that with Pfizer and Moderna combined, where is it here? The Warp Speed official. He says, the Warp Speed official, no, wait, sorry, this is the wrong one. Where is it? There's one that says, here, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines together, U.S. expects to have 40 million doses of COVID vaccine this year. So it's just counting until December. That's enough for 20 million people. If you're trying to get every American a vaccine, there's still over 300 million Americans that would need a vaccine at the end of this calendar year. So the market move that we had pricing in for this were almost to all-time highs. I think that movement was way too fast. So that's why I'm looking at a short right now. That's why I follow these indicators here. The 9 period simple moving average, we got a candle to close below it. We had the MACD line cross here. It wasn't an abrupt one over the weekend. It was just a steady trend up, and now I'm trading off that line cross. And then we do have a pretty high RSI. Right now here in the short term, we are getting a bit of a bounce back. So with that bounce back, I did get a fill on my short at a pretty good price. But my overall outlook, I do not think we're going to stay up here, at least for the next couple of days. My spread that I filled was the, where is it here? The 367, 368 call spread. So I basically went out to Wednesday, which is 3 days from today, and I sold this one right here, the 367 call, which is about trading at 36, and I bought the 368. That's about a $10 difference. And that $10 difference is something that I could realize the full profit of by the end of Wednesday if we aren't up to 367. I might close it out before then. just because it's such a short time frame. If I'm up $5 on it at the end of Tuesday, I'll just close out of it, avoid any gamma risk. Netflix kind of trading down right now. It's funny, this yellow line here, there is nothing significant about this line to other traders. This line here is my purchase price, and Netflix used it as a resistance. I bought one share. Why is that? I mean, that's kind of a resistance right there, but where did I buy it? I don't even know where I bought it. Did I buy it here? I might have bought it here when we kind of saw, oh, maybe the MACD's reversing. That was not the best entry point. Oh well. Somebody just bought 28,000 American Airlines puts for negative 180,000 total deltas. Wow. Very interesting. Okay, I'm in that trade. We'll see what they do here. Alrighty, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I think that's all for now. We'll see. You guys watch SPY here. While the MACD lines are still below the zero line, I think the overall trend is down now. It's kind of turning. The RSI did drop pretty fast here. That was a pretty fast drop down, but we'll see. Anyways, keep an eye on that. I'll be right back about 5-10 minutes, and we'll see how our options are doing. Probably doing nothing, but we'll check on them here in a second. All right, I will be right back. Actually, here I'm gonna just gonna throw up a little thingy here. Let's see, where's Apple Pages. I just want to get a little tab thing and make a little sheet here that just says back in 5, so then people know that I'm gone. So if they click it while I'm here, I don't know how many people are gonna click it while I'm gone. Probably like 0 or 1, but I want to have that there. So here we go. Let's just do a blank one. Yes, I have Mac. I'm glad Thinkorswim works on both. But let's see, how do you make the font bigger? Here we go. Just gonna make that pretty big here. What about maybe 100? There we go. I'm just gonna throw this right here over the Netflix. Here. There we go. Enter. Wait, how do I take this text thing off? I want that gone. There we go. Okay, just a second here. Okay, I am back here. Let's see. SPY is still not reversed. I did not think it would really reverse while I was gone here. Okay. Let's check our other mini, because I have two mini accounts right now. This other one still down $1. Okay. The mini account that's down $1 just has a, I don't want to worry about this. I'm going to move this over here. Let's minimize that. Okay. I'm not worried about the other account being down $1 because it's just the rise in implied volatility of some December condors. So that part should be fine. What is my phone's making noise? Oh. My phone is also watching the stream. Okay. Why is it doing that? I don't need to see this, iTunes. Alrighty. Watching for reversal here, MACD line crossing getting close, but the reason I shorted this again is because this is SPY on the 1 hour chart. We had the run up for the Moderna news, just like Pfizer. Both of them had sell-offs, but this one specifically I liked because of the MACD line cross, high RSI, and then our first candle to open below the 9-period SMA that happened at about 9 o'clock, and I sold a directional spread on that. New York City Mayor de Blasio says citizens will be fighting hard to keep schools open. Okay, good. Moderna CEO reiterates sentiment shared earlier by Operation Warp Speed vaccine lead Matt Hepburn. Moderna having daily discussions with Warp Speed. Yeah, but from the other headline, again, only 20 million by the end of the year. Yes, that's great. 20 million people, 40 million vaccines, so... But still, there's still 300 million Americans outside of that would still need the vaccine, although not everyone might want it. Anyway. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty... The MACD got above the zero line here, which I like. Even though it's down. Well, it's still up 0.7%. We did break the 360 level, and they're going to try to hold above it. This is 360.20 right here. 360's right here. I don't see a significant level at 360 because we kind of blew through it both ways. So, and then here's a new high right here. So, definitely not ready to go back down yet. Actually, this is a lot of volume. Was there... Not sure if somebody's talking or something. I don't know. We did see a couple similar candles like this. So, but that's a big volume spike. So there might be news on that. Somebody just sold 4,250 dish calls. 32.5 calls for the 18th of December. 242,000 deltas. When you see those huge delta trades, that's ridiculous. PayPal ticks higher. Tesla off lows. Another attempt to go green. FedEx and UPS rally off early weakness. Okay. Whatever way, yeah, there must be some type of news. See if somebody would be talking right now. Is the Moderna CEO talking right now or something? Possibly. An hour ago he spoke on Fox News. 94.5% effective vaccine from Moderna. Very interesting. That was as of 2 hours ago on CNBC. So, but that's just looking at YouTube here real quick. Perhaps he's speaking somewhere else. I have no idea. Nothing else here. I'm just gonna close out of that. Yeah, so we are seeing a spike up from that. That is gonna put our account down a couple dollars right now with the rise in implied volatility on the calls. But other than the reaction off to news, following indicators, I'm gonna stay in these because it sometimes takes a while to see a reversal there. So I did close out of my put side. The puts are probably going down even more right now, and that's something you could look into closing out. But I do not want to get too lopsided. I've already closed out on some of my puts here, so. Let's capitalize that. Okay. But yeah, that was about as big of a volume spike. I mean, it looks like about as much volume as we had people buying back here. People trying to hold this up. So we'll see. I don't like trading within the first 30 minutes of open. I think I entered my spread right about here. So not the best price. Definitely not the best price. Because right now it's worth 12. I sold it for 10. So what I could do, I do have enough money on there. It would be a bit of under diversification on my mini, but I could try selling another one. We'll see. But the rise in implied volatility is sucking a lot of stuff out of just the condors themselves right now. Let's see. That's my average price on my Netflix share. Should I hold it? I think I'm gonna hold my Netflix share. I shouldn't get I shouldn't just give up on all this stuff right now. Other mini still down $1. That's fine. We could look into entering some more condor positions. I do want to wait for some of this news stuff to blow over. We did see a lot more volume here on Monday. This is a ton of volume. Like, this is 165 million shares. Right now today we've only traded less than a tenth of that, almost less than 7%. So not as much volume yet, but again, it is only 9:30. So we've only been open for about an hour. So we could see it catch up, but this was a lot of volume on this day. So not as much volume can lead to lower implied volatility. That's almost what volume can be correlated to. The more volume you see on certain days can mean higher implied volatility. On the one day, I would place some more directional spreads, maybe a bit bigger bets, but I do not see the MACD lines getting close to crossing anytime soon here. Yeah, all of my accounts are just bouncing back and forth right now with all this stuff. Moderna CEO reiterates sentiment shared earlier by Operation Warp Speed vaccine. No, I read this already. Okay, that one's fine. This one, good response for rate. This might be good response rate for COVID-19 vaccine in elderly patients. That's good. That's the big stuff we want to hear about, because this vaccine is really for people that are unable to fight it off themselves. Like, I got COVID back in August, and I had a fever for a couple of hours, and that was it. I mean, stuff tasted weird for a couple of hours. I think that was that loss of taste thing people are talking about, but that was fine in a couple hours too. So it's all about able-bodied people. They don't really need it. Like, I can get it, but for the sake of being selfless, like, you don't want to spread it to other people. So while I'm not highest priority, I do hope they can get the vaccine out for everybody here soon. It's going to be good for the market too. But again, I mean, why are we trading so high when we haven't received a stimulus check since it's been almost 6 months? It might have been more than 6 months. I don't know. Back when they released the first one, I thought they were saying, oh, we could see one almost monthly. And I know that's been discussed here with the new president. We might hear a bit more stimulus. You kind of could have assumed that if Biden won, we might see a bit more stimulus than if Trump won. But it did suck that we weren't able to get something passed before the end of the election, because we might not be seeing any stimulus now until early next year. And that's a really long time. A lot of people need that money. So, I mean, I don't want to sound selfish here, but I mean, I could use it also. Make a bit more money here trading. Break that 25K. That would be nice. But anyways. Ooh, I did break the 5 viewer threshold. Of all times, it was while I was in the bathroom. How fun. Okay, so here's a level SPY's holding, kind of consolidating in this area. You could almost label a bit of a wedge there, but it looks like we're trying to break above the 47-ish level. That could be another price level that they could shoot up through. Yeah, there it is. Now, I'm not going to place anything against my directional spreads here, as I'm not as confident in the market going the other way. While they still could, I'm going with the higher probability play right now. And that is the 1 hour indicators and the fact that the 1 day here, while this isn't as strong, I'm just doing a small position for Wednesday. This isn't going to tell me about what the market's going to be doing Wednesday. That's what the 1 hour is going to do. So if we have it turn around and cross again, I mean, that's going to suck, but you went with the higher probabilities. Let's take a break from SPY right now while they're kind of doing their own thing, and go look at some other stocks. I'm going to go over here to these. Sorry, not this. I'm going to go to these charts. And what we can do here is we can look at some stocks that have some low RSIs on some different time frames. We can look at the long-term ones. One I've had my eye on for a while. Hopefully it's still on this list. For the day low RSI scanner, here it is. Beyond Meat. They broke down below their 180 period moving average for the first time in almost half a year on these earnings. And I actually played a condor on them, and it blew through it because I think I had my leg down at 130. You're like, they're not going to go to 130. But no, they broke through this support at 120, another $10 lower. So they are getting beat down like crazy right now. They're very close to almost halving the price from their highs that they reached a couple of months ago. And then we just had that constant sell-off into earnings. I mean, look at how many gray candles in a row we have here. But we do have, I don't like buying the MACD turnaround on the 5-minute or the 1 hour after earnings, because sometimes you might not even see them bounce back that much. If you bought in right there, that's 121.25, and we're currently trading at 122.91. So while that is a little bit higher, about $1, normally if you trade a low MACD, you can get a lot more than that. So not the best for a shorter time frame like the 1 hour, 5-minute, or 1 minute. I'm watching for the 1 day MACD line cross here on beyond, because last time we got one of those this low, I mean, unless you count here where we ended up in a couple of months going from 123 to 197, you might have sold right about here at the MACD line cross right there, 185. That's a pretty good profit chunk there, about 50% there over the course of a couple of months. But here, I mean, last time we had a MACD this low, they went from, I mean, this was the market crash right here. We went from whatever this level is here, 67, 68. We did dip down here, but our MACD did not signal a reversal yet. We wouldn't have closed out of our position until you see the MACD lines actually cross, which is right here at 133. So you had buy-in at 68 or 67 and sell out at 133. You would have almost doubled your shares there if you bought in on a beyond turnaround. But that is a very, very long time frame play. So I'm still waiting. It could be another week or so until we see the turnaround here. Next stock, this one's kind of weird. COFPF. These are the type of stocks that'll show up on the scanner, but I don't look at because, I mean, this is not the type of thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking for big name stocks like Beyond that have been beat down crazy off of some news, and you know they're going to come back. Something like this, I have no idea. It says they're at 25, but why are they so low on the RSI? They were at 25.4. They dropped down to 25, and you're like, holy cow, oh no, we're so low on the RSI. What is this? This is a big open down, but that's 40 cents. This thing doesn't move, but on the market crash, you had it go down to 14. Look at the RSI was down to 11, even lower than that even. Down almost 10 off the chart. Anyway, this is not the type of stocks I'm looking for here on this chart. Innovation, I thought this was Inovio, but Inovio is the same ticker but without the V. It's INO, I think, is a Novio. They look like they've had a dude beat down. I mean, they had about the same earnings that they did here at 15. You saw them run up to this price. They must have had some long-term outlook stuff because, I mean, you saw them run up to this even higher, and they kind of stayed here, bad earnings, and they're down to the 18.7 level where they were trading before their earnings, where they had the same price. The same earnings per share, basically, 1 extra cent here. So they were obviously overinflated here. They are breaking through what looks like they're low here, so they might not be a good buy for a while. I'm probably not going to touch these guys. Ping, I saw Ping earlier. They've had a ton of gray days in a row. This could be their first white one in a while. MACD line's looking to cross. We could see, but this is a new IPO. As you can see, the 180 MA here did not really even start generating itself until here, a couple months after the market crash, because it IPO'd. It looks like at the beginning of November is about when we IPO'd. And again, I don't know exactly what Ping is. It might be some EV. I don't know. Ping Identity, virtual investor conferences. I don't see anything. That's okay. Probably gonna wait a few more days for that if that's a thing. RAPT looks like they IPO'd at about the same time. Almost the same time, actually. Look at that. These might have IPO'd at the same week. Let's close out the order entry tools here. Our account's dipping a bit, but now it's coming back up. Not sure if something happened SPY-wise here. Let me just go check that real quick. Yeah, looks like we did, we are still heading up. Moderna's COVID-19 mid-morning market update. Market's open higher. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine shows 95% for phase 3 trial. Nothing new. RAPT Therapeutics. Oh wait, so sorry. This is on RAPT. What's on? Yeah, no new news. Just people buying back in, I think. But we are not anywhere near that top level of 363.85 that we reached here at about what is this? This would have been 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, Eastern. So yeah, no more news. Just a buyback in. This might have been a better time to sell that directional spread, but you're seeing them. They're actually going back up above that 9 SMA, so we'll see. My directional credit spread needs them to stay below 367. I'll stay in that position until either it goes up to 20, so I lose $10 on it, or I mean, the other or would just be if the price goes up through 367, but the spread doubling in price would happen first. I still think that's a pretty okay bet that they would stay below 367. We're just going to see a lot of implied volatility right now. Let's see here, down $3 on that. And then our Ally Invest passive Condor, that spreads up to $187, but that is a much wider spread. It's $5 wide spreads there on the Ally account. We'll see. Netflix, they're dipping when SPY goes up. So this must just be investor sentiment about the vaccine. But again, I don't understand why we're pumping up so high. So yeah, no idea. We'll have to wait and see on this. See if this is our reversal here. MACD line cross, and then trying to confirm underneath this 9-period SMA for the first time in a while. We did have it once here, but this was not coinciding with the MACD as well. The MACD never did cross when we opened below here. So the price movement is definitely slowing down. Let's look at it on the 5-minute. 5-minute, the bars are getting shorter, but the MACD lines are still crossing down here. So have to wait and see. Probably should have looked at the 5-minute too with my other things. But anyways, Netflix is probably going to go down whenever SPY goes up because people assume Netflix is a quarantine stock, although they were still a stock before COVID. So They're not going anywhere. Okay, let's look at our last little chart here. RIPT we just looked at. VITL, are they a thing? Ew. Look at this. They keep opening higher and then dropping. They open higher, drop, open higher, drop. They they went from 29.50 over the weekend up to 32 and then have sold back down below 29.50. That's gross. When you see an engulfing candle when they're both the same color, that's a very odd price movement. Yeah, this is just, yeah, not looking at that. Beyond, yeah, again, beyond, waiting a few days for that, so I just had to keep my eye on them. I think I made a list here. Potential upside stocks. HBI, I put as a potential upside if they broke through this 9-period SMA there. Coals, they're kind of trending up now. This one you can't really see it here, but this would have been a buy right here at about 23.80 when I marked that level, and they're trading at about 25.79 now. So about $1.90 profit per share. Which from there, if I drew, I could probably clear my drawing set on this thing. But if you drew this, went up to where this is now, that's an 8.4% move or gain. So that's pretty good there for over a weekend. But I don't like holding weekend positions because those are just really risky. So while we did see that move, there was a chance we would not have seen that move if potential news the other way came out over the weekend. But there were a lot of indicators pointing towards a reversal. This was them last Monday. They did shoot up for that news and then kind of sold off. Started to buy back in. I was looking at the indicators here on the 1 hour for potential buy down here at 22.90, which is right about here actually, if you broke through that level. And we are trading up higher now with this new vaccine news, and we're testing new highs here about 26. What is that level there? About 26.05, 26.10-ish. Yeah, so we could break up through that. That would be a good swing. Yeah, I was hoping SPY wouldn't go up so much today, but you know. Market doesn't care about you, doesn't always do what you want. WPM I also looked at, found the 180 MA as support after bad earnings. Well, actually, it was after okay earnings, but they kind of got hyped up. They're not super liquid. They were up about 50, 52, now they're at 44. Okay, never mind. They are kind of a big moving stock. This morning they were down to 44.38. Right now they're at 44.68. So only a 30-cent move, but you really only would have traded these movements here. You confirm above here, so you would have bought him right there at 44.60, and you would have sold at 44.80. So about 20 cents profit there over the course of about 8-9 minutes. Maybe another one there. That one's not as strong. This is just your MACD line cross. You would have seen would have signaled you in right there, but it also would have signaled you in right here. So you don't want to ignore. You don't want to pay attention to all these. Now these arrows. How did I put these arrows up here in the first place? I kind of forgot how I did it. If I go to studies here and edit the studies, I go to MACD. Is it? Oh, right here. MACD histogram crossover. I think I put this in, and that's what it is. Because if I go to this, up signal, down signal, you know, maybe I did on this thing. But this thing here, wait, is this negative to positive? Yeah, I'm not sure because these arrows are showing up on this. Maybe I did set up that thing. So this thing I don't think is giving us anything. So if I close that out and apply, there really wasn't anything. I didn't see anything on the chart there. So I like looking at these arrows sometimes, although you can kind of pick out those levels yourself. That's it for the potential upside ones I was looking at. How about the 1 hour low RSI scanner? Those are going to have a lot of different stocks here. ACMR, they've just crossed below the 9 SMA, so I'm not going to touch that. This one's below, not going to touch that one. A lot of these are probably below the 1 hour RSI. Did I say SMA? 1 hour RSI because of the just sell off they might have had here to open on Monday. So a lot of these do not look like they have upside coming anytime soon. Like this might actually be starting to go down. CHT looks like some type of Asian stock with the lettering you see there. There's COFPF again. They're going to be low on that one too. CYRX. What is this here? Just broke new highs and they sold down below it. Oh, they're down to 50 now. That's a new candle here. Looks like they had earnings of negative 22. Negative 22 cents. But somehow you run from 39.70 all the way up to the lower 60s. There must have been some really good news there on the earnings call for someone to pump that stock up, almost grow up by 50%. Okay. DLTH, is this? It's not Duluth, is it? Duluth Holding. To outperform, announces $22 price target from Baird. They are at only 17.3 right now. They were at, oh wow, is this the market crash? They were at 282. That would have been a nice buy, I think. I mean, not that there were any indicators. I mean, everybody had a low RSI and low MACD back then. It's just which ones are going to bounce back the most. MKTX looks like they had a run up to earnings. Looks like they just had a dividend payout too. MKTX pays dividends? Okay. Looks like only a 1% dividend or 0.1%. Nice. I don't know what this is. It's like they were testing all-time highs there at the 255.50 level. Could be a long for all-time highs. NRGD looks like something, an inverse fund of some sort because they shot up during the crash. They went from, what price is this? Is this some type of volatility index? They went from $50. It's a new one too. It's a new thing here because the 180 MA starts right here. So they only started. Looks like they would have started back middle of last year, and they shot up. They sextupled during the market crash there. Yeah, that's not something you'd buy. PLMR just passing below the 180 MA. No thanks. This is a newer stock. This one might be something. They had EPS kind of shot them down. Okay, that one's maybe. Richie Bros is still on here. I saw these guys last week. They're still going down. No turnaround yet for them. And then TRI. What is this one? Yeah, they're just crossing below the 180 MA on the 1 hour, so let's not. Let's just go back to SPY and see what's happening here. Data suggests that COVID hospitalizations could double in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's from, who is this from? The data from the Henry Ford Health System CEO, Wright Lassiter, on CN. Okay, well, you're going to get some news in either way. I don't want to sound super biased, but I'm currently short over the next couple of days because of the indicators we saw, but then you saw it go back and blow back up right through it. So what do I know? Netflix testing day lows. I'm wondering if I should just exit that trade for now. Not sure. The thing about selling these spreads is that while you may be down on them for the day, on certain days, like this one's only down like, what, 2%? It's on one spread. The spread is up 36%, and that makes me down 2% on it. So it has to do something really good for you to not make money on it. I did close out of that side. That looks like an unknown number there. Let me check here. I didn't have my phone on do not disturb here. There we go. Back to Robinhood. So the rise in implied volatility over the weekend. Normally you see a crush if the market doesn't do much, but in these times we did see over these last couple of weekends some runs up. So while I did enter a small directional spread, again, they are 367 calls. The spread is still $12. So it's not a high probability spread still at this point. When you jump from here to here, the odds of it going to 67 increased by 2%. They went from 10 to 12%. So it's going out far enough where a rise in implied volatility isn't going to destroy your account. It's enough where, yes, you're going to see some account movement on stuff like this, but at the end of the day, you're sacrificing volatility for stabler income. So the more stable your income is, the lower your upside is. It's not going to be as high. But yeah, you're definitely going to see a lot slower growth, but more steady growth. I'm going to mark our high here today with a green, put about 70. Looks like they're going to test it. Edit properties will make it green. There we go. Okay. Not really seeing anything else. Just waiting on these movements. Some of these other condors that I'm selling, I'm still up like $5 or $6 on them, even though they're down to 13 because I sold them. Oh, did I sell them then? I sold them on the huge rise in implied volatility here on on Thursday. Was it Thursday that these went up? I sold them at a good time. November 12th, so Thursday. On this drop is when I sold these condors when the implied volatility was higher. And that was a good day for those condors. So we're still up on them by a lot. They are passive enough that we're going to be fine there in that regard. Netflix looking like they want to blow through lows. When you're swing trading stuff with a really long time frame, it's best to not really worry about the stock in the short term, just watching all the 1 minute indicators. Uh-oh, turn around, MACD there. If on the long term your outlook was that they would if your outlook is that they would eventually trend up, the 1 minute is not going to show you what it's going to do in a month if you go off the day indicators. So I wonder what's the exact price we would have to close at for today's MACD bar to be gray instead of white, to be lower than that. I can't really tell from here. Alrighty. I guess I will also mark out the high here at about 73. I wanted to do 70, but That's as close as I can get at this zoom. Yeah, if the COVID hospitalizations start to double, that's going to correlate with a beginning of a sell-off here in the next couple of days. And now I'm not trying to sound like I'm overcommitting to something like that, but I think that the SPY is priced far too high right now. Far too high. Yes, the election's over, but look at how high we are since the crash here. Yes, we're trending up, but this is a dangerously high level. We're close to all-time highs. And while that is cool for a while, when you've reached all-time highs twice in the last 2 months, at different times, you've had big sell-offs right after. Because people are like, okay, maybe we're not there yet. Maybe we're not. We have a lot of reasons not to pump this stock up to all-time highs. Well, it's an ETF, but we have reasons to not pump it up this high because there are so many other deprecating factors right now that are preventing SPY from performing at its highest level. We've only gotten one stimulus check. We might not get another for a couple of months. And then we have the fact that, yes, the vaccine news is great, but the actual cases are still going up right now. I don't know if this is just a lot of people saying, you know what, I'm not going to sell like I did last time because I lost money. I'm going to buy this time. Or it could just be that we aren't done with this run up here. We are getting closer to that 9-period SMA. We've been trading above the 180 SMA since basically the crash. We found this as support a couple of times, and now we've been above it ever since. So we'll see. I need to go get a water bottle real quick. I'll be right back. Gonna go get some water. Just a second here. Okay, I'm back. That was shorter than 5 minutes, but that was all I had right there. um, there's SPY through the new highs there. Okay, so that's gonna hurt our puts, our short spread. So the calls that we're selling. I'm thinking, and you don't want to change up your trading strategy when you're down on something for a certain movement that you weren't expecting. So I'm wondering. I don't think I'm gonna do any debit spreads. I would do that on a reversal here on a bigger move. I was doing what the MACD says, so. And the RSI, so. Let's check our earnings calendar. It's 10 a.m. I think I'll start doing that at 10. We can check the earnings calendar. We're kind of through earnings season, but we can look here and see if we have some earnings today. If we go by options volume, JD.com, American Depository Shares. Looks like just some depository shares. Tyson Foods, it looks like they did their press releases at 41, so they've already done it. Smile Direct Club, they're releasing their earnings at 4:30 p.m. tonight. The expected move is 16.8% according to Market Chameleon, but I mean, we're going to look at the market maker move on Ameritrade instead. Genius Brands. Let's not. So Tyson's already out. iBio. There's not really anything on here except for Smile Direct. we could look at Smile Direct. I mean, Smile Direct is SDC. They're at 972 right now. Oh, they might not have very good options then. If we go to trade and go to this Smile Direct for the 20th. I mean, you have a little bit of stuff here. So what would happen? See, the delta here is 15 if you went to the 10 delta. Sell Iron Condor. And you did maybe $1 wide. Let's just do 50. Let's do a 50-cent wide one for this. With this mini account, we really shouldn't be doing anything bigger than that. And if we have the opportunity to go to 50, we should go to 50. The bid ask is kind of really short here, but we'll see. Where are you going to get a 10 delta to the upside? This is the 13.5 call. Look, the ask for this is bigger than the bid on the one below, but only by like 1 cent. What happened if you went to 12.5 potentially? If you did for the calls. You could do something like this. This is taking 50 cents and you're getting about 10% on it. That could be something. We could do a dollar wide spread like this here. It's a 12-13 call spread and a 7-8 put spread. That is going to get us a bit closer. The market maker move is 1.6. So that would put you from about 9.7 to about 8. So we probably want to go out like further from that. I wonder how the market maker move calculates stuff. I want to know how it does. Perhaps it's just where the delta's 10 on either side. And it kind of cross-references them. I don't know. I do think on the call side I could get a little closer. What is it, 13.5? Actually, no, I moved in a 12 call. You could be slightly bullish on the stock, I think, if they ran up. I don't want to get too close with something like this. I'll think about it. But the price of the stock could change just going into the earnings. So I think I'll wait. SPY just climbing higher. Wow. Let's go to the 5-minute for Smile Direct. Smile Direct is kind of going the same trend here as SPY. If you go to the 5 minutes, see how they look together. SPY's a little bit more bullish. This is crazy. I don't know why we're still going up. So I might average into that spread. That put spread, it is now worth 13. So if it gets to 20, I'll sell it. I'll buy it. But if we get up to about 15 and we get MACD line cross, I will probably just get another one. But the Smile Direct earnings. I need to wipe my glasses here. Second. Okay, we're gonna wait on that. Yeah, so while we are down on the day, we're still up all time on some of these other condors. They're just not doing as well today with the rise of implied volatility and the big weekend move. So we'll keep watching their movement. I could do Netflix could bounce off that low. I'm gonna do SPY here. I'm gonna change to the 5 minute, and this one I'll do the 1 minute, and then we can watch it like this. So we had, oh, you know what? I could have been looking. There was kind of a head and shoulders pattern here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Here's the shoulders. That's kind of a shoulder. It's different, but there's a head of sorts, and that would have been your long right there up through the 180 MA, or potentially there. Oh well. I like to go off the indicators before I go off patterns. There are some exceptions I would make depending on what I see. Yeah, so it just looks like Smile Direct. We'll look a bit more at Smile Direct later. Actually, like, why not look at him now? We'll watch SPY for a cool off potentially here. That'll be nice. Smile Direct, you get a 19-cent credit now for a 7 and 8 put, but I think I want to go down to 7.5 and 6.5. Give you 13 for 100. It's about 10%. That would be pretty good. Make $6 or $7 overnight. That would be about 6 or 7% off of that 100. That's kind of the very end of the options where you start seeing lower bids here. 6.5 is the lowest I think people are really going when it comes to the bid-ask spread there. And then the call side, the highest side you're seeing is, I mean, you're not even seeing bids there on the 17.5s up there. But 17 is where you're starting to see bids. The market maker move is 1.6. Then a move from move point 9.6. You could just say probably want to go out to at least 12. 12 might be about, yeah, right about there, I think might be a good one. If you did here and tried to fill it at 14 or 15. If you did the 7.5, 6.5 put spread and the 12-13 call spread. Smile Direct Club. Yeah, I don't really like the companies that release earnings on Monday mornings or Friday nights because you can't trade options on them and then sell them the next day. You're not really going to see the implied volatility of certain options go down on some days like today. You might not see the implied volatility on these options go down much going into earnings. So one thing I could do is do one now, and if you saw the implied volatility go up, you could simply just do another one. I'm only going to do one because I'm not going to under diversify my minis. My long-term accounts are just SPY Condors right now, passive stuff. I might want to look into another long-term because you saw the implied volatility go up. If you did another one, that long-term SPY Condor, I'll look at that after Smile Direct here. But if I did, I sold the 12 call, for this week. If I select the 12 call, buy the 13 call, sell the 7.5 put, buy the 6.5 put. Looking at about 15 credit now. See the implied volatility go up. And I think with the indicators on Smile Direct, well, we might get a turnaround here at the same time as SPY. I think the anticipatory run-up is going to be kind of similar. See, it does show run up here. We've hit highs of 11 before, but I mean, look at our high has been 13. Are we going to go over 12? Are we going to go under 6.5? I don't think so, but the implied volatility is really high. So I think that's going to be good enough. You have to be pretty close to perfection when trading stuff like this because earnings are some of the riskiest things you can trade. We'll try to fill that at 15. The ask is now 17. Let's just do 15. If you get filled at 15, that'd be great. So we'll wait and see if we get filled at 15. If I'm not filled later, I'll lower it to 14 or 13 and try to get filled then. Somebody just bought 3,350 Boeing puts. That could have been someone else selling it, but then they just don't show the buy. Oh, there you go, selling Boeing calls. See if we get filled on Smile Direct. Looks like you're not. Let's just move it to 14. View order. Where's my order here? Let's just do 14. Yeah, the bid-ask spread on the entire option is kind of high. So maybe if you go down $1, we'll be more likely to get filled. The spread on these is kind of tough. I don't know. Twas my pleasure. Okay. Just checking some emails here real quick. Expecting some emails from some people. Okay. Haven't gotten that yet. All right. Let's go back to Robinhood. We're not getting filled at 14. I really wanted to get a fill at 14. Watching SPY though, I mean, I'm probably not put anything else in SPY unless you see a 5-minute MACD crossover too. Because the 1 hour, it completely disregarded that. all the huge run up you had to like, oh, we're turning. Nope, let's go back up. It was a sell signal, and some people sold, but there's just more buyers in the market. We'll see if they try to break this high again. But I don't have enough money where I can just day trade that. I want to. I'm getting there. So I'll probably get work an afternoon job here for a little while so I can start averaging into this account a little bit faster. There you go. Up through the highs again. Holy cow. Fortunately, with the low implied volatility on these condors here, you're seeing a not too big of a move today. I'm only down $6 on one of the accounts, which is like 1%. And that's on an incredibly big move here from SPY. This is $4 since Friday's close. Let's try replacing the Smile Direct Condor one more time here. Will you fill me at 13? The bid's 11 and the ask is 18, so hoping they would fill me at 13. Wow, not getting the fill. You know, I think I'm okay with going lower on this just because there's actually an ask in for 12, so yeah, I got filled at 12. So while it's going to show that I'm down $2 on it, yeah, down $3 on it now, you're not getting filled at that price. So after earnings, we'll see if it wants to expire worthless for us. Yeah, but right now it's going to show it's negatively affecting my account balance, so like how it's going up and down, but really, that's the price you would have gotten filled at, so. Ally account, yeah, so our long-term condors on there, we have some December 18th condors down at, away at the 10 deltas, so the 327 put and the 372 call is what we need to stay between. So we're within $11 from that top. So I'm thinking if we're going a bit higher here, if I should finance the Condor by putting a couple more larger directional spreads up at the top here. But I want to wait for a reversal because that 1 hour reversal did not give me what I wanted. So that spread, that December 18th spread, even though it's out at 327, 377, 372, the spread is worth, I think, $200. See, I'm up on this side, that's the put side. So I'm only up $14 on the put side right now. That's how far away it is. You only made $14 with a $500 wide spread with a $4 move because it's so far out, the implied volatility. While it is high, the theta isn't as high. It's not going to decay as fast, which is what going out further helps you do. So I gotta fix my hat here. FRAN roll down 14%. I'm not seeing any more news on SPY. It's just people buying in after the vaccine stuff. I'm wondering if Netflix could drop down as low as they did last week. Maybe I should just sell out and buy it back later. It's really the money isn't being used. It's not being utilized as much as it would be with condors right now. I mean, you have rising implied volatility right now. It's still rising, but on if you look at a what's this? Smile direction option alert. November 20th, $10 call sweep near the ask. Okay. Well, that was on the 11th. That's last week? Okay. Yeah, Netflix is gonna break down. I'm gonna close out of that trade for now. I think I'm better off utilizing that capital to either hold it in cash or just putting it in a Condor instead. So I think I could look into another Condor here. So we are to a new option expiration date. So I think I want to enter a Condor now with this run up here and this high implied volatility. I can enter a Condor that is very far away from the money, but a couple of months out. So we could see an implied volatility crush when we do stop moving, when we see this reversal. So let's look at the SPY option chain here. We're done with Smile Direct. We got filled. Not at a great price. We got filled at 12, even though it says the mid is 14. So now it says we're only down $2 on it, which is nice, but doesn't really matter. We're going to see a lot of okay, let's go to what's 35 days out right here. These weeklies, December 21st, so it is a Monday. Let's see what we're getting here on these options here. Where's the 10 delta going to be? All the way down here at 325. You could sell one there at 325 and then buy the 320s. That's the puts. And then on the call side, how close are you getting a 10 delta on the call side? 386. Wow, that's really high. Well, you see how far away we can get from the options to still make our money. The delta's 10 on this side. You're only getting 4-cent credit. Wait, sorry, that's a bid-ask spread. You're only getting about an 8-cent credit on this side. Oh, sorry, because that's $1. If you went from 386 to 391, you're looking at about 35-cent credit. That's a good amount of credit, but for 35 days out, that's pretty far. We could go ahead and, with 35 days, collect about $150 credit with a $500 wide spread, and just bet on slowly lowering implied volatility. Is this Iron Condor down today? No, this one is also. Okay, so the 367, 368 calls, well, we did fill them at 10. They're worth 14 now, but they were worth 7 at the beginning of the day, so I thought going up a few dollars, we could get a good fill there. Did not get the best one. Here for the Iron Condor on then, where could I go where I get about $75 credit on either side with a $5 wide spread? If I want to go to, because the 330s to the 325s is going to be about 220. If we did, let's do this, sell Iron Condor, and then you buy the 325s, okay, and then on the call side, you're going to, where should we go where we get about 75? I mean, on this side, paying about 227, where's going to be a 225-ish option? Right about here. The 377s to the 382s. Let's see what that does if we go to 377 on the call side. So we're going to sell the 377 call. scroll down here, and then buy the 382. That is going to be a $5 wide spread, and we're going to be getting about $1.26 credit. I want to get a little bit more credit on the, I think I could get a bit more on the call side. But I do want to watch SPY here and make sure this is our reversal. We could be turning around right here. I do not want to get into something too early because last time we saw this, they immediately wicked out and went back up. Dow Jones Industrial Average hits record high. Alrighty. So the Dow's up there to all-time highs. Good for them. Are the other ones going to follow? S&P going to follow? S&P is only about $6 away. Not sure. I want to take any trade I make, I want to do it slowly. Go back to here. I think we can move the calls down a bit. Where are we going to go where we're going to get about a... Look, there's a big difference here. We went all the way down to 370. If we sold the 370 calls and bought the 375 calls, you're moving your credit up to almost $200. But you are making that call side really close. I wouldn't do something big like that, like a lot of credit here on this side, unless you knew there was going to be a big reversal on the one day. I would need to go a bit further out. What if I sold the 380? No, bought the 380. Where is it? Why does it keep doing this? 380, and then sold the 375. That brings our credit down to about 144. We could try that. That would give us about 15% over the course of 5 weeks. You want to kind of find a balance where you're like, okay, where... I want to average 1% a day. That's kind of every trader's goal. Where are you going to average 1% a day, but also be able to go out far enough? Wondering... I'll have to look for that perfect... If you went out 35 days from expiration and you got a 35% credit, that would be about 160, 175 on something that's 35 days away, because you want to get about 1% a day. And if you did, say you go up to 1,000, make each spread $10 wide, and if you did $10 wide spreads, then you would need about 35-cent credit. Now, I am not to the point where I'm okay with doing an entire $10 wide spread, especially something on a slightly unstable market condition here in SPY. It looks like we are finally seeing what could be a cool-off now. I'm not going to jinx anything here. I have enough buying power to do another trade on this mini, but I don't think I'm going to touch anything. I'm also looking into other ways to gain that 1% a week, just mathematically. Just go and get 20% credit here, and in a week close it at 10. Or get 40% and in a week close it at 30. Whatever you're going to do, what's going to make it, what's going to be the highest probability where you can average 1% a day, 2% a day, without risking the portfolio. The least risky way to do it and consistently win day in and day out. But right now, I mean, 375. You kind of have to look at the actual ETF in that time to say, okay, is it going to go up to 375? Are they going to go up $14, or what was the other side? 330. Could they potentially go down $30? I don't know. I feel like I want to be a bit more loaded up on the call side though, because with the vaccine cool off and stuff, I feel we might start trending down off of that news. HHS official testing companies telling them they are in good shape when it comes to basic supplies needed to perform COVID-19 testing. Okay, so we're good there. We could try something like that, because right now we're going to get high implied volatility, and at the end of the day, we might start to see a bit of a cool off. Or at least where the stock stops moving as much. I mean, look at the MACD though. I really like this MACD. So I'm going to keep my directional spread in. The 5-minute showing what could be a turn down, but the RSI is down in the 50s. That's a little bit low for something that moves like that. This final downturn here, though, is making the accounts look a little bit less bad than they were a minute ago. They're all still fine because they're not very high risk plays. They're still options, but they're passive spreads. Got about 30 minutes left here before I will stop streaming for now. Let's go to SPY here. I'm going to look into executing that other Condor I kind of brought up for the Monday expiration, 35 days, and about 30% credit, which gives about 1% a day. The reason why I say 1% a day, even though it's a little bit less, is because we could get a bit more of that premium by 2 weeks. If you look at basically the amount of implied volatility on a certain option can be so high that far out that 3/5 of the way to the expiration, it may have lost more than 3/5 of its premium. We're just talking about premium here, because if it's out of the money, there's going to be no intrinsic value. It's just going to be extrinsic, which is value given to the stock, the option, because people are thinking it could go up there. It's not. There is no value in the option because it is in the money, because it is out of the money. There can be no intrinsic value. So it's all extrinsic. So if we did those, that would be the December 21st. Let's see what that date was. December 21st, yes. And the better I get at trading, the more strategies I'll try to learn. I'm trying to look at double diagonals, calendar, stuff that benefit off increases in implied volatility. But right now, with theta working in your favor, the decrease in implied volatility along with the theta can make you a bit more, but not in all market conditions. So we're going to buy the call we're buying is the 380. Selling the 375 call. Selling the, was it December 21st? What was the put we're selling? 330? 325 we're buying. Okay. Sorry, no, these are puts. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's gonna make the credit about 153, but that's we're gonna do a credit of, what's it currently trading at? 143. Let's try 142. Preview order. So SPY's now trending down, where it looks like we did not get filled at that price. 143. Let's go back to our dashboard and see here. Let me go back to just charts here, so you guys can see that. We are closed out of the Netflix trade, yes. The Condor we currently have has gone, it did go up in value to start the day, but it's now starting to go back down, which is good for us. The larger mini is down a bit more because of the weird Smile Direct fill. The rocket fill was weird, but the Smile Direct one's different. This could be a larger Head and Shoulders pattern we're seeing. Not going to force anything, but this could be your play down. This is where the directional spread is going to make some of its money back. If we do get a sell-off down underneath this level, this was resistance earlier. Is it going to act as support, or are we going to break down through it? We will see. We got the RSI close to 50. Don't know how far down they'll be willing to go on that. But yeah, the MACD line's looking to cross, and the fact that we opened a candle below this SMA. I'm thinking the 5-minute might be a better time frame than the 1 hour to do directional spreads, especially if you're like day trading it. I'm still looking for my perfect strategy. I think it might be, right now, if you had me guess which one I think I would start doing forever, I might be selling directional spreads on the 5-minute candles. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if the market actually decides it's going to go down now. Kind of cool off from this. Our call spread was worth 14 at one point. We sold it at 10. But since we're selling it, we lost 4 when it went up to 14. It's now back down to 12. But I'm not going to average into that position at all. This Condor is going to be fine because our second mini is basically its own directional spread, as we closed out of the put side of that Condor to leave it as a credit spread, a call credit spread. So it is short that spread. It did not look like Ally filled us on the order status. It's still open. It's probably dropped a few dollars in value since that. So let's try to replace the order. Let's change it. So while it is still benefiting in a decrease in implied volatility, it is also slightly bearish as the legs are kind of adjusted down. We submitted it at 140. We were filled at 140. Okay. Not bad, but Ally is going to show us red on that because it has the 15-minute delayed quotes. But now it's going to show us our total gain and loss on those 8 combined. It's saying now is a positive $9. That's very interesting. If you have all of your stuff trading through one stock, it'll just tell you here's what's all you've made through that one thing. So we will see what happens there by making a quick reversal here. 1 minute MACD pointing back up. Are they going to hold under this, or is this just one last push to kind of hit this as resistance and short down? Israel PM. For the 3rd day in a row, Pennsylvania is recording a record high number of new coronavirus cases with 5,480 additional cases and 49 more deaths. Wait. Was that from earlier? That's from the 12th. I don't know how I got that low. Just a second. What? It flipped the orientation. Just a second. There. Sorry, I flipped the time, and that was one of the older ones. Okay. Possibility of purchasing Russian COVID-19 vaccine, Israel PM. Netanyahu, or whatever it is, says he spoke to Russia's Putin. Okay. But Canada's Quebec province to ban sales of new gasoline-powered passenger vehicles as of 2035. Okay, so they're like mini California now. HHS official says and companies telling them they're in good shape. Okay, that's what we saw already. So, we will see which direction the market wants to go after this, what looks like a confirmation, or if you're trading to the upside, a validation on SPY's movement there. Our call spread is to 13. We want it to be at 10 to be a break even, because that's where we sold it at this morning on the 1 hour. I should have probably waited for the next open after the first full candle above. I kind of screwed up there. I should have done, if I wanted to fill it at that time, I could have looked at the 30-minute candles. If I wanted to fill it at that time, and I would have seen that I should not have done that. Okay, good. Yep, that was just a bad fill on me. Go back to 5 minutes. See if we break down through this new low. I'm going to move this resistance level down to 66 or so. Let's do 65. Because that's where we wick down here. Anywhere between the 65 to 70 range could be our resistance. The implied volatility is starting to go back down a bit on some of these spreads. So if we see a correction back to the downside, the sell signal on the 5-minute coming together, then we will start to see those, as we start to see those accounts go back up now. So while I did sell another Condor when the implied volatility was higher, I didn't just sell another one of one I already had. I went and did a different Condor, which is kind of factoring in current market conditions rather than what they were a few days ago. So adjusting it a little bit is going to help the thing there. But yeah, this 5-minute delayed thing is making the account act really weird. These this thing just switched down to down $80 and then back to up 20, so it must be some weird option pricing thing. Because I'd like to think I know what I'm doing. No, ally's not loading. Okay. That's odd. Let's see if we can actually get it to work. I wanted to see what my long-term portfolio is doing right now. Still nothing from Ameritrade. I'm probably going to have to contact them again. Yeah, this thing's saying I'm down on calls, but that was as of 15 minutes ago, so it's probably going to start turning around for me. That's what I needed there. Okay. Yeah, that's just a glitch there. Okay. We got about 15 minutes left here on stream for today. I will be back same time tomorrow, 9 to 12 Eastern, or I guess it would be 6 to 9 Pacific. That's pretty early. Would it be 3 hours approx 9? Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm liking what the minis are doing now, because I think we're confirming underneath that 9 period SMA now. I'm watching for a breakthrough 361.65 as not a potential short for me, just a breaking point that's going to start turning my account back the way I thought it was going to be going this morning. Because I was short the market about 30 minutes in. Let's have one last look here at Smile Direct while I'm on here. SDC. I don't think they're really going to do much movement here in the... Right now they're just consolidating. Have them like that. High MACD there. I just been consolidating. Again, my legs on that are 7.5 and 12 are basically what I needed to stay between. And they've been like... It's almost off the screen in each direction, so I'll just put the lines I needed to stay between 7.5 and 12. That's where I ended up putting my Condor. So it's completely neutral. It's not even slightly bullish or slightly bearish. I just went where I would be getting good premiums past the market maker move. And we'll see how that looks in the morning. I'm definitely not going to be doing any extremely risky plays here. Let me change this to Iron Condor Blue. Nickel plated Condor Blue, sorry. Okay, back to the 1 minute. Something like that. Okay. Netflix testing new lows again. I closed out of that trade because I'd rather hold it in cash or a spread. And then this thing is going to refresh here soon and show that we're green. There's what looks like our official MACD line cross. There on the 5 minute on SPY. I'm a little bit more concerned about the breakdown below this green line here, which was originally our resistance, broke through it, and is it going to act as support? It did here. Are we going to break through it this time with the indicators working against it? this out. See, because I am considering a job to work in afternoons, but basically, I would still be able to stream this entire time, and then I would just go work somewhere at like noonish, like noon to 8 or something. I could get in a full-time job and also trade here. I did some math with some of this stuff, and I'm like, if I was making 25,000 a year, that's before taxes, but let's just do the math here, because 25,000 is a little bit easier to do math with than like 20,172 or something, whatever it is. If you were to deposit your weekly deposit, never spend any of it, and you made 10% a week on that investment, 10% is a lot, maybe 5% is more realistic, but say you did 10%, you would multiply your investment if you deposited every week right in and started growing that new amount at 10% a week. You would have 25,000 turn into about 500,000. You would multiply your amount by about 20 if you were not spending any of it and just depositing it directly into an account. That's my goal. If I get over 25, the percentages will change if I'll be day trading instead, like I want to be doing. I'm probably going to need to get a new computer first, because I need really, really fast response times. And this Mac, while the internet is fine, our internet's good, the actual computer processor in this Mac might not actually get the trades through. I don't want the computer freezing up on me. I don't care if the internet's fine if the computer's going to freeze when I try to place a trade while I'm trading. So, but a lot of different things. Hopefully, I mean, if this channel catches on, I'll be able to get a lot of stuff from this. I mean, even the Patreon. I'm working on some perks for the Patreon. I don't just want it to be just give me more money than YouTube's paying me. I want to actually offer some stuff. So I might have like a weekly Zoom meeting, or we might just go and do Microsoft Teams, because I think that one's more suited for the long haul. Microsoft will be here to stay. What if Microsoft bought Zoom? That would be crazy. Watch it happen. You can clip this. SPY getting close to that level. Not very high volume yet, but I'm watching very closely. We're seeing a reversal on our smaller accounts back into the green. I said I wasn't going to do any more directional. I wasn't going to do anything else, but what I think I'm going to do is if we get a breakdown through this level, I might swing one for a couple dollars. If I can fill it at 12 here, and then if it drops down, I can lower the average cost. Have a bit of extra money there. So let's see if they break this level, and then I'll just sell another one of these directional spreads at like 12. There's going to be a lot of bids and asks to chew through at that resistance. So I'm going to have to watch for that. Just waiting and seeing. But yeah. We'll watch that. If they don't break it, they find support on this. Okay. Cool. You found support. The indicators aren't really pointing to it right now. If they bounce off of it, it's probably just my fault that I called it out. And even though all the indicators pointed that way, it's not going to. But I'd like to see in the next 5 minutes here, before I actually stop the stream, that it would just fail that level so I can feel right about something today. Okay. Come on, man. You can do it. 1 minute MACD isn't pointing to it, but the 5 minute kind of trounces it when you go to a bigger time frame. It points bigger picture. Sometimes the bigger picture will overpower something like that. Short-term movements are good for day trading if you're in and out in a minute. Went down and tested it again. Seeing the Smile Direct Club bid ask spread. I want to change these to 2 so we can see SPY. See if we can see anything that might be going on here. Somebody sold their share. Oh no. Somebody bought one too. Look at all the people doing hundreds of shares at a time. Isn't that crazy? And I don't know if they're going to want to fail the level while we're on here. If they just found resistance in this, I'm going to be kind of teed, but you know, that's okay. So I'm probably not going to do this directional spread. I'll just wait for it to go down. It's still at 12. Smile Direct Condor is at 15. Sold it at 12 as well, but that's... With Smile Direct, the options volume on that is just kind of low. So the middle mark is not really something you can get filled at. So yeah, just another bounce off. They found support here. See, they did it here too. So, oh well, that's that short term here. I want to see how they react with another upside level, potentially, or this could just be a smaller bounce before the breakdown. But I think we need to see a breakdown. I don't know. I don't want to be super biased. I'm just following the indicators, and they're not really listening to them right now. So. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds here. Doesn't look like we're going to see that break while we're on stream, but I'd watch that level, 361.65, as a potential break. It's not really something you could see on Robinhood very well. It's a big gray candle to follow up the white one, but it's on less volume. This drop down here does make this look like a really big wick. So this could have just been a wedge pattern kind of forming, not perfectly with this, but it found resistance at the 9-period SMA twice here. Could we see it twice? I don't know. Well, we'll have to watch that. Yeah, just SPY today, some directional put spreads I got out of my Netflix trade, because I'm just going to do SPY condors on that instead. And yeah, I think that is it for today. We'll see how Smile Direct does. I didn't do this condor backwards, did I? This December 21st. It's the call size 375. Uh-oh. I think we did something wrong. 377 and the 375? let's take one last look at that Condor here while we're on. Our orders, order status. We did short Iron Condor. That was nope. Okay, so we're right. We bought the 380 call, sold the 375 call, bought the 325 put, sold the 330 put. It's just not showing up right in Ally for some reason. Come on, show me this whole thing here. Let's move this down. Yeah, this is also showing me some December 18th stuff. Okay, so here's our call down here. Yeah, we're down some money on the 375 call we sold, but we're up some on the 380 call. So the implied volatility on the calls just went up a bit more after we were filled. So that I got a really bad fill. I don't understand why the fill on that was so weird. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will be back same time tomorrow, 9 to 12 Eastern time. Yeah, but for now I'm going to go, and I will see you guys next time.